I have a really good friend of mine who had picked up on the fact that invariably, whatever we're doing, you should do this, you ought to do that, you must, and it's become very apparent to me here recently that how often he does that and how much it makes me crazy. And I haven't quite gotten to the point where I've been able to talk to him about it, but it's just, he turned into one of those people that just everything, well, you should have done this, you should have done that. Well, of course, you can say that now because,
hindsight's 20/20.
already happened, but.
That is a violation. See, we're going to have a really good session coming up next. That's a violation of boundaries. When I cross into your life, and if you say to me, Jeff, what do you think about this? Well, I don't know, but what works for me is this. You might want to consider, it could be useful to, you might want to try. I'm respecting your boundaries. When I say to you, wait a minute, what's the matter with you? You should do this. You ought to have, you must do this or you're going to be a big loser. That is a turnoff. Should, ought, and must are words that we hurt ourselves with and we hurt others with.
I mean, I think it could be a crossing boundaries, just like you mentioned, but
Yes.
also people that don't really know how to communicate some consideration. A lot of people, maybe you should consider this, or you should, not sure, but try to offer you different points of view and they just don't know how
Another
to do it.
perspective.
Right. The should, ought, must, easy words to use. In our language, it's easy to say those things.
Jeff, just a point of clarification, that there's context around these, right? So, I mean, these are words that we use in our everyday language.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I'm just trying to.
I should go to the bathroom now. What's, that's innocuous.
I'm thinking about my son. You should be working on your homework right now, not goofing around.
Jeff,
That fits.
are you going to get to the flip side of each one of these later? Like, what if these are bad and hurt us? What are the words that?
We will be talking about through the presentations, rather than using should, ought, and must. In a way, we've already done it by eliminating black and white thinking, by eliminating generalization, by eliminating negative focus. We're already undercutting the should, ought, and the must. So if you study and go through these and have listened carefully, you'll see how should, ought, and must doesn't fit because it's black and white thinking. And the other thing is it doesn't fit reality. If you insist for you to experience your life that your boss should do this, because that's what he should do, you're going to be unhappy. He ought to do this, you're going to be unhappy because you're making demands. He must do it, or I can't stand it anymore. I'm going to be unhappy. Because the world is not going to live by your should, ought, and must. It's just that simple.
I got to share a story. Last Saturday, guys, I must share a story. I was visiting my son, my oldest son, in Peoria, Illinois. He goes to Brown University. A lot of you know that he's a senior. Okay. So he has his own apartment. He has his own car now. He's very independent. He's 22 years old. He's got an internship, working part-time while he's finishing his senior year. And so I know that he's a young adult and this and that. So we come into his apartment. I'm being good. It's kind of a mess, but I say no words. Other than nice things. But he's got like burnt out light bulbs everywhere that he hasn't changed. And I said, you may want to consider buying some light bulbs next time you go to the store. I said, consider me. And he's got this garbage. He doesn't have a garbage can. He just has this plastic sack that he throws the garbage into. And I said, well, perhaps next time you come down, I can bring down one of our spare garbage cans that you can use, or you can buy one. Suggesting. Doing good so far. But then he said, next Thursday, which would have been 2 days ago, was a job fair. He's like, I'm not going to go. I've got this internship that's good enough. I'm sure it'll turn into a full-time job. I'm not going to go. And I was trembling. I mean, I'm still trembling. And I'm like, you know, we spent $160,000 on your education, and this is your senior year, and this is the job fair, and you're not going to go? I was trembling, and I wanted to respect his adulthood and his decision-making, etc., as you've recommended. And I said the words, I must insist that you go to the job fair, because that's sort of why, you know, isn't that sort of like the purpose of why you're here for 4 years and study hard and get good grades and all that stuff? You never had conversations with your boys like this, it seems. When I talk to you, you look at me like I'm from Mars or something.
Did he?
I think he went, but he didn't want to give me any, information about it or any.
That's because it had no impact for them.
Did you co-sign in the student loans?
No, it's a long story.
This was a perfect example. And this is where we're going to talk about, and if I don't make sure, about ways of parenting. If that had been my son, what I would have said, and believe me, I'm into a lot of money for education. I would have said, you seem to think that not going to the job fair is okay. But I get upset about that and I feel scared. Notice, I'm owning the emotions now. I'm owning it. I'm really frightened that if you don't go to the job fair, you might miss out on something. Can you help me with that fear and concern I have? How does that feel just saying
That
that?
sounds wonderful, but I was so emotionally. I wish I would have done this. But I was so already at the edge of my seat.
Because here's the difficulty. You can make or manipulate people to do almost anything you want. But that doesn't mean that they have buy-in or ownership. That's the problem. Okay, Dad, I can see you're really angry at me, and you think that I ought to go to the job fair, so I'll go. But do I really go? Do I really apply myself? Do I really give it everything I have? That's the difficulty. When you manipulate or you guilt people into doing things, they may do, but they don't have ownership. That's why the older a child becomes, the more I allow consequences to do the teaching. I'm really scared, whatever your son's name is, that if you don't go to the job fair, that upon graduation you might not have a really good job. I'm sure you thought about that. And so when he's working at Jiffy Lube and also Wendy's, to make up for extra money, he's going to say, well, maybe I ought to take the efforts I need to get a better job. Now he has ownership in it. Because it was only when the prodigal son figured out that he was eating with the pigs, and his life wasn't what it should be, that he makes the decision to return to the father. You'll notice the prodigal son's dad never said, are you stupid? Are you crazy? What do you think you're going to find out there? No. He gave him the inheritance, and he lets him go out and have the experience. Here is the problem that we deal with. If I go to the job fair for my dad, and not for me, I am now trying to deal with dad's problem rather than the problem of my getting a job. That is the difference. Yes, you and I can shake hands or hug or whatever with my children, especially the two oldest boys, where I've just gasped at things, at the choices they've made that I think are stupid, that aren't good in the big picture, and I gently will give opinions how I feel about it. But then it always ends with the same. It's up to you.
You think, I've thought about exactly what Rich is saying of kids in high school now. I guess if they used their own money and you didn't co-sign on their loans, the whole picture would be a little different.
Could be.
because he's not really responsible.
Well, it's not an issue of the money, it's an issue of, and I wish I would have responded the way you suggested, Jeffrey, but I was too emotionally
Well, yes.
upset. But, it's that I know, because I've gone to college, and I, 30 years out of college or whatever, that this time, there's 200 employers that are gonna be there at the same time. And so I know that that's never gonna happen again. After you leave college, you wanna switch jobs, you're kind of on your own, with who you know, what company you've met. You're never gonna have 200 companies vying for your attention all in one spot. Never again, other than senior year of college as you're leaving university. That's never gonna happen again, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And to not take advantage of that so it's not a question of money, Bob, it's a question of I want to impart this wisdom to him, that this is a great chance to really network and meet a bunch of companies that you're never going to have again.
And wisdom that you probably didn't have and someone wasn't telling you, so you know the value.
I want to go black and white for a minute here, but understand that there's some overlap.